Isn't this a great way to start our service? Thank you. Thank you, Bob and the band. Good morning. My name is Dottie Gandy, and I have the pleasure of being your platform assistant today. And that's both to you who are joining us in person and the big glob of you who are joining us online. We appreciate your tuning in, whether you're here or there. So we always begin with our opening statement, and would you join me in saying our opening statement? There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent.
Everybody, we have a perennial favorite right here, requested by our dear Makayla. This is going to tie into everything that she is talking about today. I release and I let go, and I know you know this at home. So everybody come on, stand up, and we're just going to let it all go, right? I release and I let go.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ida Ribbik, your prayer chaplain for today. And it's wonderful that we started out with that song because, yes, we are all filled with light and the Spirit is moving within us. So I do want to say that before I do the daily word, that as a prayer chaplain, and all the chaplains are here for you 24/7. You can reach us online through the church website, or you can just talk to any one of the chaplains. We're always praying for you all and keeping you all in love and light. And after the service, if any of you are in need of prayer support, I will be, and some other chaplains will be in the John Webster Prayer Chaplain, and want to let you know that any prayers that you might put, or prayer requests that you might put in any one of our prayer chests, there's 3 here in the building. Those requests are prayed over by a chaplain, and then they are sent to Silent Unity, where they are again held in prayer for 30 days. Okay, let's see. Will you all join me now in the daily word together? Protected through my oneness with God, I feel protected. Yes. And as I go through my prayer, any requests that you may have, just bring them forth in the silence. Precious, precious Spirit, we are so blessed and grateful to be here as a united, loving Unity of Dallas family. And we are also grateful to have all of you across the world, across the many states that are joining us, because you are also our family. For we are all filled with your divinity. The I am presence that is in me is in everyone else and all that you have created. And it is from this I am presence that everything that we do and everything that we say and everything that comes our way should always be seen through the eyes of love. We should hear everything also through the eyes of love. That divinity that fills us, that is within us all, is what allows us to go through the world just expressing what we are and letting our lights so shine that as we pray and as we go through each day, we see everyone not through what they have done or said, but from that I am presence within them. And it is from there that we connect with them and allow them to become closer to you and to awaken by letting go, perhaps, of things that have no longer been serving them. And we are here, and we all are doing just that. We release what is not serving us any longer. May we go through each and every day just focusing and holding that light so that we can do as Jesus has done for us. And that is awaken that divinity in all those who may still not have awakened, because we know they are all as divine. For all of those that are in need of prayer support this morning, those that we know about and those that we don't, you know what these needs are, precious Spirit. And so we just surround them with this loving light and healing energy with all of the other I am presences you have created joining us, knowing that this is how we will come to have a better world where we can be living heaven right here on earth. And so it is. Amen. Together.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is, and all is well. Thank you, God.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. My name is Makayla Perkins, and I am so happy to be back here this Sunday talking to you guys again. Last week, if you missed it or weren't able to join us, we talked about the importance of standing in our truth, opening our eyes to our spiritual endowments and our divinity in every situation. And today, I want to give you an extra tool, because if you may have noticed, life happens. And when life happens, sometimes it's hard to stand in our truth, and sometimes it's hard to keep our eyes open, so let's get prepared. Now, I can't take 100% credit for the idea for the message today, because one of you actually asked me a question that inspired this. And what you said to me is, you said, I love this idea of opening my eyes. But what do I do when I don't like what I see happening out there? What do I do when things that are going on in my life don't match what's in here? And I thought, well, that's a really good question. I should probably figure out the answer. But the reason it is such a good question is because most of us can relate to this image right here. You're in your car, you're driving down the freeway, you know exactly where you want to go, it's in your GPS, and suddenly life happens, the road curves, and you are forced to take an exit you never intended to go down. And in that moment, you are left with two choices. The first choice is that you can choose to stay in that negative emotion, maybe even some foul language that was said when that road curved. It's okay to say it. We're all human here at Unity of Dallas, okay? So it's okay to feel those things. I'm talking about staying in those things. Because when you stay in that energy and that belief, you create a solid belief inside of you about who you are and how this world works. And when those beliefs aren't made in truth, it is hard to keep those eyes open. You are shutting your spiritual eyes. After last week, I hope you know that that's not really an option. This is a false alternative. So what is our option? What can we do? The other path is that we can learn to let go. If you're anything like me, you just cringed in your seat. Because this is one of the hardest things, at least for me, the hardest easy thing that life will ever ask you to do. Because as humans, we like our control. We like to know where things are gonna go, what they're gonna look like, or at least I do. But something I've learned recently is that you can't control the way the road is going to turn. You can't control what you are going to be given in life, but you can control how you carry it, or rather, how you let go of it in some instances. So that is what we're talking about today. I'm going to share with you guys my personal story and struggle with letting go, the best piece of advice that I've received on the matter, and then we're going to practice it, because we believe here at Unity that it's not enough just to know these things in mind. We need to put them and embody them into action. So, here is my story about letting go. Like I said, I like my control. And the story that I'm going to tell you took place about 8 months ago, but just for the record, I've been struggling with this for years. Life kept giving me things over and over again, and it was like, okay, is she going to let go of this one? Is she going to let this one go? This one's really bad. Come on. Please let this one go. And I just went, nope, not doing it. Not for me. And then 8 months ago, I came to a point where I was clinging to a relationship that I needed to let go of. And it was the first time in my life that I ever really felt soul tired. All of me was being put into trying to look for a solution, trying to cling to this idea when deep down I knew it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. But I kept doing it because in my mind I was choosing love. To cling, to fight, was to choose love. Now, my greatest support system is my family. So one night I went to my mom, and I was like, this is my solution that didn't work, and I'm just venting. I'm hysterical. I'm so upset that this is not working because it has to work. And she stopped me in the middle of one of my sentences, which doesn't happen very often. Now, something you should know about my mom is that she's really good at telling you the truth, like a lot of moms out there. It might not be what you want to hear, but it's always true, and you always come around to it. It's just one of those mom superpowers. So when she stopped me in the middle of my sentence, I knew I was about to receive one of these truth moments. And I clenched up, because when you're in a place of denial and in darkness like I was, that truth is like a big old flashlight. And I did not want it shining on the stuff that I didn't want to look at. But I said, you know what, I know I'm missing something, so let's listen. And what she said to me was, Makayla, you are clinging to this idea that you two must go forth together. You are clenching on to this illusion of control, a control that is not yours to hold. But sweetheart, God is not clenched fists. God is open hands. And if you do not open your hands right now, there will be no room for the light and the love that is within you to flow through you, through the situation, and relieve everyone involved from their suffering. At this point, I had gone pretty far down this rabbit hole. So many people had tried to stop me, had tried to talk some sense into me. This is the only thing that stopped me dead in my tracks. Because in that moment, I knew that I had not been choosing love. By clenching my fists, I was not choosing God, I was not choosing love, I was choosing fear and control. And I knew that if I wanted to continue on living a life grounded in these principles that I care so deeply about, that I had to open my hands, even though I might as well have superglued them over the last couple of years. That moment was horrifying, quite frankly, but I knew it had to happen, so slowly, finger by finger by finger, I opened my hands. And oddly enough, I've lived for 20 years. I know it's not that long, but it's weird to think that that is the first time I've ever opened my hands. And when I did, everything that needed to happen, that I never would have asked for, started happening. And the best part about it is that I was open, at peace, and ready to receive it. The relationship was released. We both went on our ways to shine our own lights. My internship at Unity of Dallas came around the corner, and I was reminded every day why I needed to keep my eyes and my hands open. But most importantly, for the first time in my life, I was put in a situation where I was so alone that I had no one else to fall in love with but myself. And that is the biggest thing that I had been fighting for years. That was the biggest exit that I was like, But it is the one that I needed. That day, I earned and learned a lesson in faith that I never would have embraced otherwise. And that lesson is really perfectly put in Proverbs. Because when you trust in God, and when I say God, I mean everything. I mean source, universe, whatever you want to call it. When you trust in that sacred space with all your heart, when you align every action with that divinity, with that light, when you are strong enough to leave behind your limited vision, your limited perception of how you think things are supposed to go, when you do this, your path will be made straight. Something to keep in mind is that it might not look straight to you. But wherever you believe higher consciousness to dwell, whether it is above or deep within you, from that perspective, the path could not be more straight. And it could not be more aligned dead center to the person that you were supposed to become, the presence you were supposed to embody and bless this earth with. However, this road, perfectly straight in truth, does no good if you are not willing to open those eyes and keep them open when it gets scary. Open those hands and choose to keep driving even when it is not what you expected. It's scary, but it's necessary to live a life grounded in a spiritual truth practice. I'm not very old, you may have noticed, I'm only 20. But I consider myself to be wise, and the reason I do that is because I have lived an entire life surrounded by wisdom. The wisdom of my family, my experiences, my friends. And all of that can testify to the fact that those surprise exits, those roads you don't want, those moments where you want to clench your fists, are some of the most needed and best moments of your life, if you are willing to let them be. I know this isn't an easy ask. I know that sometimes it is really easy to get lost in the idea that I know best, that my eyes are open so I should be able to see it all. But that is not yours to do. Yours to do is to lay standing firmly in your truth, eyes wide open, heart and hands wide open, ready to receive exactly everything that God, Christ consciousness, the divine, is ready to place you on and ready to make you go forth with. To live a spiritual life, you have to do both. There's no selective vision about your truth. There's no selective grasping about situations. It's all here and it's all for you. There is no such thing as rejection in your life. There's only divine redirection. And trying to force or stop the redirecting power of God, one, there's no point because it's not going to work. But two, it will hinder your growth immensely. So like we said today, release and let go. Let Spirit run your life. I wish this was one of those things where I could give you 3 steps and you were just there. You were ready. It is the most personal decision that you will ever make to let go. I can't tell you to do it. You have to say, I'm ready. But I promise you that the peace that comes after is worth it. So today, we're going to try this. You're going to get to pick one thing that you're going to unclench your fists about and let go of. It can be big or small. It's completely up to you. But we're going to start today because this is really hard. It's really difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. In fact, you never should. So I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in with me and let it out. Release any sense of tightness or stress that's still remaining in your body. Any fear about letting go, it has no place within you. And as you breathe deeply into your heart, feeling all of its warmth, all of its light, keep your physical eyes closed, but open your spiritual eyes. You're in a room that is your life. Looking around, walking the room's borders, feel for that thing, the feeling, the situation, maybe a person that you need to let go of. And when it comes to you, I want you to clench your fists. Squeeze it. Feel it for the last time. And when you're ready, open your hands. Release your breath. Feel the space that has been created to be filled with love, with God, This was never your load to carry. It's okay to let it go. Let a smile creep onto your face as you feel the joy that comes with opening your hands. The potential that lies in a future with hands wide open and so much room, so much space to be filled by the divine. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and out, and open your eyes lighter and more aligned. Raise your hand if that felt bad. Okay, I got one hand. We'll talk later. But I think that's pretty good odds. It's pretty good odds. So this is what I'm going to leave you with. I grew up in a Unity church, and one of the things that our Reverend used to say, she said every Sunday at the end of every talk, and it always got me excited about the week. She always said, go forth and live it. Because it's not enough to just think it, to know it. You've got to do it. You've got to take that leap. So be this girl. Eyes, hands wide open, letting the leaves fall. Feel the joy of your new possibilities. The gift that is your spiritual endowment, that is the presence of God. There's nothing keeping you from this. So go forth and live it. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Keep your eyes and hands wide open.
Makayla better get used to this, right? Of all of the denominations she could choose to pursue ministry in, are we blessed that Unity is on the receiving end? Thank you so much, Makayla.
Thank you.
Wow. So this is a time when we bless our tithes and offerings, and it's whether you text online to give your offering, or like Ann Sadowski, you put it in an envelope on a written check and you mail it in each week. Or you can go to it on our app or have it automatically deducted. Whatever your way is of giving, that's what we want you to do. We have a mobile app, we have a phone number. All of this is in the information that you see up here. So whatever your way is to donate, please do it. Now would you join me in our offertory blessing? Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Spirit. So Malcolm, would you come up here to me a minute? I have to tell you all about the most incredible divine coincidence. I have spoken several times at Unity of Grapevine, and the last time I spoke in 2019, Malcolm was the guest musician, and he blew everybody away. So I said, give me your information. I have to give it to Carla because we have to have you here. And then we had this thing called the pandemic year. The other thing is that when you find out you're going to be the platform assistant, you find out about 2 months in advance. And the fact that I was supposed to be the platform assistant on the day that we have Malcolm. And so they said I should tell you about some of his musical background. I know nothing about music. So Malcolm, what are the 3 things you would like this group to know about you and your music and your performance?
I love to sing. I love to sing all genres of music. I'm classically trained. I've been with the Fort Worth Opera for 20 plus years, something like that. And yeah, I love jazz. Ella's my favorite, actually, Ella Fitzgerald.
So now you know you're in for a treat. Take it away.
Thank you. God bless.
Was I right in referring him? Yes. I hope this is not the last time we hear you here. So we have some announcements to share with you, and this will apply as much to you virtually as it will to those of here. Well, let's see. Do we have a slide other than the tithes and offerings? Oh, it's up here, but it's not here, so we'll go to this one. You've noticed for the last 2 or 3 Sundays that we have this amazing assortment of books out in the lobby, and it's a book sale going on, a Book Nook clearance sale, so if you haven't already loaded up with books, this might be your time to do it. And next week, the amazing David Friedman will be our guest speaker. I still have recorded his We Can Be Kind, and I play it often because there's a lot of news headlines that need to remind us to be kind. So make sure you're here next week. And actually, he's going to be doing a workshop following the service, so we will be doubly blessed to have him here. The Soup Mobile, we're still collecting $5 cash or $5 McDonald's gift cards, whatever works for you. You can drop them off on here between 2 and 4 on Saturdays or here on Sunday morning. And if you're able to give someone a ride to church who does not otherwise have transportation, please go online and let us know that so we can take care of them. Okay, I think it's time to stand and sing our closing song.
This week, we live the truth that we know. We open our eyes, we open our heart, we open our fists, and we let go into the reality that God is everywhere, in every person, and in every situation. And so it is. And go with God. Go in peace. Have a wonderful week. Amen.